I also think like Soul is drawn similarly enough that you could take my art as me as Paul and say it's the same person. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta. We're back with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. We're still in the catch-up phase of going through Season 2. Technically, we're 3 episodes in, but this is literally Episode 2. 10 to go. So, Rudy has... Literally the last episode of last season was taking a step forwards, right? Well, Rudy, 2 episodes in, has taken a step forwards. He has burnt a memento that he kept of Eris in order to move forward. So, he's smiling again. He realizes what he's done to move forwards, which is to form a new friend group. The thing he was afraid to do because of all the previous groups having left him already. He kept the panties, though, because of course he did. I guess the 2 things were kept in different remembrances. Roxy was somebody who, I'm not going to throw this out there and it's going to feel wrong, but I'm going to say anyway, saved him, basically. She took the guy that he was, even though he spent a number of years in the younger kid's body. He took the person that he was and helped him move on. So, that has a different emotional connection to him than Eris, who is a girl he fell in love with, and she doesn't have that same tie to him. It's just more so like, this is my first love sort of situation, which I guess implies that he never had a love in his other life before all the traumatic events happened to him. And he's moving on from that. I mean, he doesn't know the whole Eris shouting out from the literal mountaintops that she loves him, but it's going to be awkward when they meet again, considering how we know how this half of the core ends. Other than that, though, I guess there's not much else to do but to get into this and see what happens. If my memory serves, we're about to have to save Sarah, right? Mushoku Tensei, at this point in the storyline, is doing a reverse Overlord for me. Which is to say, when we watched Overlord on the channel, I remember everything happening a lot faster. And everything was like 3 episodes longer than I thought it was. My memory of Mushoku Tensei, on the other hand, is some of these things felt like they were 2 episodes. And when we watch them again, it feels like they're only 1 episode, or it doesn't feel like they are. They're just 1 episode. I feel like, I don't know if there was a show that did this that we watched here on the channel, where there's like an A's plot and a B plot, except it's not in that form where you have a B plot running underneath what's going on in the A plot in the same episode, or so that the first half of an episode covers a story, and then the second half of the episode covers a story. Maybe not so much here, but I guess sort of A half Rudy in depression, B half Rudy solving depression sort of thing. And some of the episodes, you know what it is? Fearin'. A lot of Fearin' episodes felt like the first half was one story, second half was a different story. Tied together, but only tangentially or by the process of time, but, you know. I guess I'm in a bit of a rambly bit, so I say we just go ahead and move on and get on into the episode.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's 0 pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, right. Named his legs after dogs. Fictional dogs.
あれから数ヶ月、俺は予定通り冒険者家業についている。依頼をこなしながら 町の人や冒険者たちに俺の名
Or
前を覚えてもらい
towns known for dogs, I think it
今
was.
知れないゼニスに届くように各地に広めてもらおうって寸法だ。
いいぞハルク、ヘラクレス、もっとだ、もっと。
Now, one's a Marvel character and one is a myth. So I guess kind of the same. Still two characters known for being strong.
お前ら、この依頼ステップとリーダーが受けてやる。
Also, Rudy's little development here kind of reminds me of like Ready Player One, where literally the main character goes into a depression and by himself and starts working out and getting himself into shape and everything in order to deal with his sad thoughts and feelings. You know, these two stories kind of come out around the same time. I wonder which one was written first. I would guess Mushoku Tensei.
おお、泥沼、お前の母親のことどっかで聞いたらお前に届くようにしといてやるから。あ、よろしくお願いします。
活動の甲斐もあってか、この町におけるルーデウス・グレイラットの名前はなかなかに広まってきた。もっとも泥沼という二つ名の方が広まってしまっているのだが、名前を売るのに一つの町で数ヶ月から1年
Kennel Master, right?
時間がかかるかもしれないが、でもやるしかないのだ。
I wonder how many people would know that Kennel Master is Quagmire.
ルーデウス・グレイラットです。よろしくお願いします。
あんたがあの有名な泥沼か。
有名かどうか知りませんが。
The earliest Mushoku Tensei stuff came out in 2012. It looks like. Yeah, first chapter of the web novel came out in 2012. Yeah, it's such a good song. Huh. And Ready Player One, the novel, came out in 2011. So 1 year before Mushoku Tensei originally. I know it's not like a very unique storyline, it's just funny that they have that overlap going on. And to be fair, the main character of Ready Player One, his girlfriend didn't die. He just ghosts him, I guess, would be the word. Leaves him behind, stops listening to him, answering him, any of that. Same reaction, though.
今帰り。ええ、今しがた依頼が終わって報告したら宿に戻るところです。私たちこれから依頼を受けるところだけど、一緒に行く？
最初の縁もあってか、カウンターアローとは何度も組ませてもらっている。俺の目的からすると、一つのパーティーと何度も
Is this arc only gonna be like 4 episodes long?
出発はいつですか？別に行きたくないんだったら断れば。どうしてもってわけじゃないしさ。
I'm trying to remember. Because obviously they're gonna go to the caves now, where they're gonna get mixed up with the other guy who's thinking they're trying to cheat him out. But this is named after the forest, which means that someone's gonna die, and he's gonna have to save someone else. But then we gotta have a date episode, and then the erectile dysfunction episode. Maybe 5 episodes total on this arc?
魔族の建築物は魔大陸でいくつも見てきたが、ここはまた違った感じがするな。
Was that demon architecture, or was that just the architecture of those? The fact that they call those people demons, and then we have the girl who doesn't look like any of them, who's the demon king. Still elements of the world building that have escaped me.
わってんのさ。別にどこも。
That was the weirdest way that you could have responded to that. I thought I was.
とここだね。
今回の依頼はここに落ちている大量のスノードレイクの鱗を集めること。永久の依頼にしては随分楽な仕事だ。
奥はスノードレイクの縄張りだ。あの像よりも先には進まないようにするんだよ。
スノードレイクとの戦闘になったら大変だが、ここはあくまで奴らの通り道。隠れてやり過ごせばいいだけなんだが。
こっちも魔物がいない。
If only there wasn't another guy in his team hunting in the same region.
それにしてもあの
Or I guess in a further
どこかで
region.
見たことある気が。さすがに捏造しすぎじゃないか。
It's weird that they have the same outfit. So I guess that implies that it is her in that form all the time. Formed up? No? No, not here, my dude.
小さなくすぶりが巨大なる恵みを焼き尽くさん。フレームスロー。
As I said before, I remember like the broad strokes. I don't really remember the incidentals.
私らには向かってきてない。目の前のやつをそらすように攻撃を当てろ。
よっしゃ。
左から来るぞ。
何ぼーっとしてんの。あんたも戦いなよ。
今度はなんだ。
Another cool guy on the scene.
よし、私たちも攻めましょう。
おう、任せな。
You know who he is? He's our stand-in in this season for Paul.
終わりか。
Again, knowing that one aspect of Paul that I didn't know the first time around, I say this guy is probably better than Paul.
どうも、カウンターアローのティモシーです。先ほど
人の獲物を横取りしておいてヘラヘラしてんじゃねえよ。
横取り。あんたらが仕事中だなんて話は知らないよ。
大々的に言っておいただろうが。
知らないって言ってんだよ。
Again, he has legitimate reason to be upset. He's being an asshole about it.
確かこの間彼らが依頼を受けるという話をギルドでしていました。内容はイルブロン洞窟に大量発生したスノードレイクの群れの討伐。
イルブロン洞窟だ。一日は離れたところじゃないかい。ここはガルガウ遺跡だよ。
スザンヌ、落ち着きなさい。
ティモシー、あんた大丈夫なのかい。
ええ、手加減はしてもらったようなので。
Yeah, he probably did actually. Considering that you're a mage, you're not well known for physical ability.
イルブロン洞窟とこのガルガウ遺跡の採用が何らかの要因でつながってしまい、こちらの魔物がなだれ込んでしまったのでしょう。
じゃあてめえらは別の依頼でここに？
そうです。なんならギルドに戻って確認してもらっても構いませんよ。
いきなり殴ったのは悪かったな。
いえ、誤解していたなら仕方ないでしょう。
It also kind of implies that adventuring parties just fucking attack each other in the wild.
だからお前たちの取り分は一匹だけだ。いいな。
はい、もちろんです。さて、私たちの取り分をいただいて帰りましょうか。町に戻ったら皆で打ち上げでもしましょう。
I also kind of wonder how often this sort of thing happens, that two disparately different jobs overlap one another for unknown reasons. Unknown reasons at the time of issue, I mean.
何にせよ、あれだけ大量の魔物と相対して死ななかったのは幸運だったな。
ルーデウスは運が良かったね。運ですかね。皆さんに助けられた感じですが。それも含めてさ、普通のパーティーだったら見殺しにするところだから。感謝しています。別に。
I mean, I also kind of think Rudy could have taken that job too. I'm at that point where I feel like I'm dick riding Rudy. That's not what I mean to be doing. It just doesn't. Knowing how strong Rudy is, it's hard to think of a position at the moment that he couldn't take, other than, you know, Dragon Dude from last season.
まあ何にせよみんな生きて帰ってくれた。金もがっぽり稼いだ。いい依頼だったじゃないか。
これであいつらがいなければ本当にいい依頼だったのに。
なんなんだよな。ちょっとギルドで一番強いからって調子に乗って。
ずっと迷宮にこもってろってんだ。
あれでもパーティーリーダーなのかね。
もしかするとパウロの若い頃もあんな感じだったのだろうか。
I guess he's really just that kind of guy that when he's drunk, he becomes who he really is without inhibition.
改めて言っておこうと思ってよ。あの場においてはまあ。
Because we know he's not that bad of a guy. Well, from the future, we know he's not that bad of.
戦う時に黙って殴られて文句も言わずにはいそうですかと引き下がるやつは俺は嫌いだ。男には戦わなきゃいけない時がある。
ああ、まあそうですね。スザンヌにもよく言われます。気をつけます。
ああ、わかりゃいいんだ、わかりゃ。泥沼。
はい。
こいつはいいが、てめえは最悪だ。なんなんだてめえはいつも人の目を
Quagmire's okay, but you're the worst.
てめえは笑えてると思ってるかもしれねえけど。
Or does he mean that the guy he was just talking to is okay, but you're the
他人
worst?
を見下してんだよ。何様のつもりだ。おいゾル、もうやめておけよ。
Because I could see seeing Quagmire and Rudeus as two different people. Difference between Superman and Clark Kent, if you will.
何かから逃げてやがんだよ。俺はそういうクソガキを見るのが大嫌いなんだ。
すみません、目障りでしたね。以後はなるべく視界に入らないように気をつけます。
叫んな。なんだよその態度は。なめやがって。自分は名前ばっかり売って金はいりませんって面して何が楽しいんだ。俺たちは生きていくために金が必要だろうが。いい加減にしろ。飲みすぎだ。なせこんなとちくしょう。おい泥沼、てめえ生きてて楽しいのかよ。楽しくねえんならさっさと死ねえ。目障りな。
Again, the lack of inhibition. But also, I kind of feel like Rudy needs to hear this, right? So. And look at him. Grinning like he just punched the other guy in the face. Or rather, the guy he punched in the face accused him of doing in the same situations and not liking it. Proving that he is the guy that Soul hates.
目的あってのことですから。
何が目的だよ。お前やることが中途半端なんだよ。
I also think like Soul is drawn similarly enough that you could take my art as me as Paul and say it's the same person.
ルーデウスが何かありましたか。
ミミルとサラがな。
聞いても
死んだよ。
Yep, so thing I was talking about before.
いや、ミミルはともかく、サラははぐれただけです。
The Mushoku Tensei is the inverse of Overlord.
せめて雪が止まないと。
やはりあの時私が見捨てなければ。
私らだって最終的にうなずいてここまで来たんだ。同罪だよ。ちなみにどこではぐれたんですか？西の鳥居の森だよ。
If memory serves, the first time that I saw this, I think that I thought something was up. Like there was a plot in motion.
じゃあ僕は失礼します。
Yeah, I guess technically, Rudy shouldn't have a hard time traveling really anywhere. His whole ability to combine elements when he's casting spells, like do the air thing, but also make the air hot, and then suddenly you're blowing the, you're melting the snow in front of you.
そりゃ自分のやり方でサラを見つけた時だ。そのサラが生きていようが死んでいようが関係ない。今俺は成果が欲しいのだ。あるいは他人を見捨てないという選択を取りたいだけなのかもしれない。エリスに捨てられた俺だから、それだけなのかもしれない。だが見つけてどう
I mean, there's also the element of that he's just getting over loss, and now suddenly having to deal with loss again.
したところで何になる？俺は何がしたい？全く意味がわからない。
Wow, I do not remember it being that fucking gory before. Okay, not for nothing, not to take away from Mimir's death scene here, but how the fuck did these guys eat this? Oh man, his ear too. I mean, like, how did all these oxen and whatnot eat all this flesh and then pile it up? Do you think it would just be scattered?
けど、この間の彼女はそれほどトゲトゲしくはなかったな。も
う少し仲良くなれたんだろうな。
And one of those scenes. You always need one of those. I mean, I guess the shock of super cold water would wake you up from no matter what. I feel like the common anime trope would have been to force Rudy to do this with his eyes closed or something. So they are being more adult about it than the average anime, I feel like.
大丈夫。もう痛くないし。ほら。
ちょっと違和感があるんですが、何かおかしいことありませんかね。
どこもおかしくないけど。あんたがここに一人でいるのはおかしいね。
いや、それはなんとなくティモシーたちに行方不明になったって聞いて。
みんなは無事なの？
ミミルは死にました。
I can't remember. Was Mimir the healer or the other mage? I want to say he was the healer. Also, we never talked about the fact he has green hair. But no gem. Putting him in league with Sylphet, right?
あのさ、嬉しかったよ。助けに来てくれて。
まるで今までの
Oh man. My problem with this is it's just setting us up for heartbreak.
救われた。おかしなことに彼女を救ったはずの俺の方がそのように思ってしまったのだ。
Ah, Rudy, don't put yourself in that place.
サラ、どうなってんだい？今から探しに行こうってところだったのに。
ルーデウスが助けてくれたんだ。
まさか私らの話を聞いてすぐに出発したってことかい？いや、もうそんな無茶してあんたまで死んだらどうするつもりだったんだ？
ちょっと、スザンヌそんな言い方はないでしょ。
Oh man, how quickly this is gonna spin around in a couple of episodes.
まずはサラを助けてくれてありがとうって言わなきゃいけなかったね。
Look, even knowing what's coming, I still stand by what I said. I hope Sarah comes back. She's not a bad character.
ありがとう。本当にありがとう。この恩をどう返せ
Just
ばい
a
いや。
bad misunderstanding that I hope gets cleared up at some point.
礼には及びません。僕もあなた方には何かと助けてもらってますので。
それは本心だ。俺はなんだかんだ言ってカウンターアローの面々にいろんなところで助けられてきた気がする。
だからこれで貸し借りなしということにしましょう。
そうか。そうですね。じゃあこれからもよろしくということで。
はい、これからもよろしくお願いします。
I was going to comment on the fact they're not talking about Mimir, but they knew that Mimir was dead already. So, I guess they've kind of already come to grips with that facet of things.
じゃあまた。
今日はゆっくり休んでください。
Ah, come on, Sarah.
いろいろあったけど今日は休もう。
Maybe it was just too much, too quick scenario for Sarah. Sorry, I also don't know what noise that just made there.
なんだか今日は久しぶりに深く眠れそうだ。
Yeah, we know what that one's named for. Yeah, again, I think the problem is it was too much too quick for Sarah, that she invested too much feeling into who she thought Rudy was, so that when things are going to happen later, it's too easy to make the mistakes that they make, right? Again, what I keep saying, I hope Sarah comes back, is that the show tries to sorry, words are not coming to me. The show tries to treat everything with the seriousness of if this was real life. In the same way, something I said 2 or 3 episodes back just came back to me, and I know this is completely apropos of nothing, and it's not going to make sense in this episode, but if you're watching these back to back in, say, a binge, 1, thank you, but 2, the thing from the other episode that got me was the facet of traveling in the show. That Rudy is like, someday I'll see them again, that sort of thing. Even though they're gone, they're not gone from me. Because the saddest thing that I felt back in Doldea Village was when we left, and it was the concept of here in a fantasy environment, leaving a place implies that you may never see these people again. It's just, that's the reality of things. So Rudy coming to the conclusion of they may be gone, but they're not gone forever, implies that he could someday go find them again. But for me, the sadness is, again, distance and time, right? Your adventures as kids in the Demon Continent, the people that you left behind there, it's entirely possible you won't see again until they're adults, right? So you'll never have those adventures again. The idea of the pain of nostalgia, for example, or just losing things, right? That's what hit me the most from back then. Sorry. That's why I was talking about the seriousness of the show, or how it tries to take things seriously. When I was saying I hope we see Sarah again, the reality of it is, the most true to life thing would be you have this falling out with a person due to a completely benign misconception of what happened. Like, they just didn't understand what you were doing. You didn't explain it well enough. They feel like they hate you now. That sort of thing. And the reality is, sometimes you just never meet those people again. You fucked up, or they fucked up, and they messed up a good thing. Just the reality of it. So, to never see her again just feels like it would just be the show being as real as it always is, or tries to be. And while I don't like that, I hope it isn't that, at the same time, I completely will respect it if that's how it happens. But, as I've already stated, my hope is that we do meet Sarah again. This episode ago, it fast forwards the relationship that we obviously see building. That Sarah's going from not liking the outsider, not appreciating how he's treating the scenario. I guess there might be a feeling of replacement that she's feeling there as well, in that the person that she idolizes in the group, or at least clings to, is reaching out to Rudy in the way that she seems to be taking care of her. And then all of a sudden, all of this stuff, like, fast forwards her feelings for who she thinks Rudy is. And it feels like maybe too quickly, to the point where she's setting herself up for what's about to happen. That sort of thing. So, yeah. I guess that's all I really got for right here, unless I remember something a couple episodes later and interrupt that to remind you of my thoughts here. Anyway, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?